Okay, so the mindfulness of being aware of noticing, that's the focus in our practice today. And we're going to start off by just connecting to our body, then our breath, and then our mind. So just finding yourself in your seated position, getting yourself comfortable, just relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the hands, relaxing the feet, but just becoming aware that the spine is awake. The spine is allowing the energy to come up through the base chakra, right up to the crown, and perhaps even feeling that you've got a beam of light coming all the way from the base of the spine through the center of the body and shining out above the crown. So you are that beam of light, you are that radiance. And we're going to connect to our breath through the practice of Ujjayi breath today and throughout the class. So Ujjayi breath is where we constrict a little bit of the glottis at the back of the throat, keeping our mouth, our lips together and breathing through the nose, and we make a gentle sound as we breathe in and out. So you can make it as loud as you like because you're on mute. And I'll exaggerate mine. And we breathe slowly and deeply when we use Ujjayi breath. So constrict the throat. So as we breathe with Ujjayi breath, we can become really aware of the pause at the end of the inhale and the pause at the end of the exhale. And even trying to perhaps use counting to ensure that the inhalation, the exhalation is the same. So you should feel that there's an immediate effect on the mind, on the body, in terms of a sense of general calmness by using the Ujjayi breath. So we will be practicing that throughout the class as well, through our breath awareness and our postures. So thinking about bringing our mindfulness to our practice today and just actually thinking what you'd like to be true for you in terms of your focus or concentration or even acceptance or awareness even. So if there's something that comes to mind that you'd like to really focus on in your class today, then say it to yourself 3 times in the positive. I am. And then take a breath in through the nostrils and gently out through the mouth. Let it all go as you breathe out. Let the shoulders drop. And another breath in through the nostrils. And breathe out through the mouth. Release any tension. And one more breath in. And breathe out. So we'll just now start our asana practice just by taking one ear towards the shoulder and just allowing that neck to open to the side. So feeling what the body is telling you in this posture and just noticing rather than judging or getting any emotions involved in, oh, heart tight neck, oh, just noticing and maybe even saying to yourself, I'm aware that my neck is tense. And then gently bringing the head up to center and then over to the other side. So feeling the physical stretch along the side of the neck. And just allowing the space to open up. So bringing the head to center. This time keeping the shoulders forward. You're going to turn the head over to one side as if you're trying to bring your chin in line with the shoulder. Taking the eyes into the sockets as if you're trying to look right behind you to the other wall. And noticing if you're being forceful. And then perhaps saying to yourself, I'm aware that I am turning too far, and just come out of it a little bit so it feels good rather than feels tense or tight. And then bringing the head back to the center, and then the very smooth movement, taking that head over to the other side. Again, trying to take that chin further round, keeping the shoulders facing front. And taking the eyeballs into the corner of the sockets. So if we feel in our yoga practice we're being forceful, then we're not practicing one of the principles of yoga, which is being kind to yourself. So although I might suggest postures and suggest a place to have your head or your feet, you go with what your body can do. And that's being kind. So bringing the head back to the center. And we're going to come into a gentle child's pose and stretch out the arms in front. So if you need anything underneath your knees or underneath your hips, in between your heels, then use something and just stretch out the arms. So as if you're trying to reach from the waist right out in front of you, so the hands are shoulder width apart, fingers are trying to edge closer to the front edge of the mat, and then just lowering the head down. Perhaps if you've got a cushion, just to lower the head, rest the forehead on. Or you may just want to leave the forehead lifted for now, because we're trying to stretch from the waist. Noticing the shape of the body in this position. And then you're going to walk the hands over to the right side. And then once you feel a stretch down the side of the body, then just hold that position. So feeling it along the left side of the body. And then notice if you bring the fingers of the left hand up. So you're creating perhaps a temple with the hands. Where do you feel that stretch now? Perhaps it's changed slightly. Is it in the inside of the armpit? If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, then just bring the palm back down and still feel that stretch on the side body. And then walk the fingers back to the mat, stretch them out again, right out to the edge of the mat. And then walk the hands over to the left side, trying to keep them outstretched as much as possible. So the arms are engaged, they're not just flopping down. Make them feel strong. And then if you want to, lift your right hand with the fingertips on the floor. Notice that stretch, or just keep the palms down. And then walking the hands back to the center. And then from here, you're going to lift up the hips as you bring the chest forwards into tabletop. And then from tabletop, keep your chest lifted as you lower yourself down onto your thighs and just come up into a gentle back bend. Only come so far. And then lift up the hips and push them back into your child's pose. So we're going into just a dynamic stretch for the spine. So breathing in, coming up, and you may just want to stay in tabletop and just lift your head, or you can drop your thighs down onto the mat and look up. Just see how your back feels today, then lifting up the hips and then just taking the hips back to the heels, stretching out, lowering the head. So we'll do that now with the breath. So coming forwards, breathing in, and either staying in tabletop or bringing the thighs down, lifting the chin. Breathing out, taking the hips back to the heels and lowering down. So one more, in time with your own breath. Feel the body opening up. Lovely, good. Nice movement, and then back. And then coming to your tabletop. And then tucking your toes under and gently coming into your downward dog. So just stretch out one foot towards the floor and then the other. Start to open up the back of the legs, right down to the heel, right down to the calves. And then allow the heels to lower closer to the floor. They don't need to be on the floor. And then a slight bend in the knees as you lift your tailbone, and then try and straighten the legs as you stretch that spine up towards the sky. And then you're going to look forwards on an inhale, lift up one foot and step one foot in and then the other into your forward fold. So if this is the first forward fold of the day, then bending the knees, bringing the chest close to the thighs if you can, lifting the shoulders away from the ears, and trying to bring the crown of the head down towards the toes. So notice how the body feels in this position. Become aware, mindful. Where can you feel this posture in your physical body? If you can feel it in the back of your legs, then if it's too much, then just have a little bend in your knees. Just so that the feeling is, oh yes, I can feel it, rather than, oh, that's really tight. Just notice and make some adaptations. And then you're going to bend the knees, start to uncurl one vertebra at a time, noticing the body, what's going on in that movement, and then coming up into your mountain pose. So in your mountain posture, start to connect from the ground up towards the crown, starting with the feet. So noticing the balance between the front of the feet, the sides and the back of the feet. Lifting up the kneecaps and just tucking the tailbone in slightly, navel in slightly, heart lifted, arms engaged by keeping them parallel to the sides. You can have your hands slightly turned forward with the palms facing forwards, just helps to open up the collarbones a little bit. And then lifting the crown, but not lifting the head, Just imagining that the spine is being lengthened. Now notice where you can feel this posture. Where is your attention being brought to? So we're going to go through our sun salutation. And when we come to the stillness in each posture, we're going to notice the shape of our body in that still posture. So we'll take the arms up to the sky, gaze at the thumbs, bend the knees, and then float the hands down into forward fold. So where is your attention now in this still forward fold? And what do you do when you notice that awareness? So if there's any tension in the back of the thighs, maybe it's just bending the knees a little bit. So as soon as you notice any physical attention, awareness, it may be that you adjust slightly. And then hands on the feet, you're going to slide to halfway lift, look forwards. Where is your attention in this position? Is it at the navel, as in I need to engage the core? Is it in the shoulders, as in I need to slide them away from the ears? And then sliding the hands back down, placing the palms of the hands on the floor, shoulder distance. And then you're going to step back with the right foot and then the left foot into your low plank. So if you can hold this position now in stillness, notice the shape of the body. If you need to drop your knees, then pop your knees down. Where is your attention being drawn in this posture? Maybe it's the heat and the heaviness in the palms. And then from here, we're going to lower the body down. So the tummy, chest, and forehead, try to keep them in a line all together as they come down at the same time. And then you lower yourself completely onto your front and flat on your feet. And now notice with your feet flat, your legs straight, head down. What do you notice about the shape of your body? Have your elbows flopped to the side? Do they need to be squeezed together? Have your knees just relaxed completely? Do you want to engage the legs by pressing the front of the feet down into the mat? And then we're going to push ourselves up into a gentle back bend. So you can have your arms straight if that feels okay, or slightly bent, or you can be on your forearms looking forwards. So find the stillness in Sphinx or Cobra. Where is your attention? What do you notice about the shape of your body? The balance from each side of the body? And then lowering the chest and the forehead down onto the mat, sliding the hands underneath the shoulders as you tuck your toes in, and then pushing yourself up onto your knees, then lifting your knees and pushing the hips back to downward dog. So hips are high, armpits are low, armpits reaching down to the mat, and the head is in line with the inside of the arms. So where's your attention in your downward dog? Does your body feel balanced? What are you noticing? And then we're going to look towards the hands and lift up one foot as high as it'll go and step that foot forwards, bring the other foot in to join it into a forward fold. Is this forward fold different to the others? What do you notice about the back of your legs this time? Or your shoulders? Or the crown of the head? And then hands on the front of the feet as you slide to halfway lift. And then slide back down. And then bending the knees, uncurling, taking the arms out to the side. Gaze at the thumbs. Just hold this still posture for a couple of breaths. Where is your attention? And then lowering the hands down, past the heart center into Tadasana. So on the next round, we're going to focus on the movement, the journey in between the postures, and seeing what you notice there. Okay, so the journey in between, the dynamic movement. So starting off in Tadasana, coming to the end of your exhale, and then we start the journey by inhaling, taking the arms up to the sky, gaze at the thumbs, bend the knees, and then float the hands down, noticing the journey into your forward fold. Then noticing the movement as we place the hands on the feet and slide to halfway lift. Notice the body moving, and then slide back down into forward fold. Then bending the knees, placing the hands flat on the floor, noticing how the body's moving as you're going to take the left foot back first, step it back. Notice the feeling, what you're feeling in your body, right foot back, and then bending the elbows, noticing what's coming up for you as you lower yourself down to flatten. Just have a couple of breaths here. And then breathing in, pushing yourself up, noticing the hands, noticing the elbows as you lift up into your back bend. And then tucking your toes under, noticing what happens as you lift your knees off the floor, your hips up to the sky. You bring your head down, walk your feet in a little bit and allow the heels to sink down as you reach your downward dog. Anything noticed there? And then breathing in, looking forwards, lifting the left foot, noticing the movement, the journey as you step that left foot forwards. Where does it land? Bring the right foot in and then into your forward fold. And then hands on the feet as you slide to halfway lift and lower back down. Notice the journey as you start to come upright, as you bend the knees, take the arms out to the side, feeling the air as you take the arms into the circle, up towards the sky, and then lowering the hands down into Tadasana. So next round, we are going to put in our Ujjayi breath. We're going to notice our Ujjayi breath in time with our sun salutations. So every time we breathe in, we constrict the throat. Every time we breathe out, that throat is constricted. If that's too much for you in your sun salutations, then just go to normal breathing, okay? But try and notice, bring your awareness to the breath and the pauses in between. So come to the out breath. And then we breathe in, arms up to the sky. Pause, bend the knees, and then breathe out, float to the floor. Pause. Breathe in as you slide to halfway lift. Pause. Breathe out back to forward fold. Pause. Hands on the floor, you're going to breathe in and step back one foot and then the other foot into plank. Pause, lower the knees if you need to, and then breathe out, lower the body down. Flatten your feet, and then breathe in as you lift to back bend. Tuck your toes under, and then breathe out into downward dog. Breathe in as you lift one foot as high as it'll go, look forwards. And then step the feet together, one foot and then the other as you breathe out into forward fold. Breathe in as you lift to halfway. Breathe out as you lower. Bend the knees, breathe in and straighten. Pause. Breathe out, lower down into Tadasana. So our final round, you're going to notice whatever you notice. So whether it's the shape of your body, whether it's the movement in between the postures, whether it's the breath, or it might be something else. So really focus your awareness and see what you notice in your final sun salutation today. So we breathe in, take the arms up to the sky, gaze at the thumbs, bend the knees, breathe out, float the hands down into forward fold. Breathe in as you come to halfway lift. Breathe out as you float the hands back down. Hands on the floor, breathe in, step back one foot and then the other into plank. And then breathe out as you lower the whole body down. Flatten the feet. Breathe in, push yourself up to cobra. Tuck your toes under, breathe out, lift the hips to down dog. Breathe in, lift one foot, look forwards, or you can jump both feet together and then step one foot in, then the other into your forward fold, breathe out. Breathe in to halfway lift. Breathe out, lower down. Bend the knees, breathe in, take the arms out and up over the head. Breathe out, bring the hands down past the heart center into Tadasana. So we'll move into standing posture, chair posture. So you've got a choice here. You can have your feet together and then your arms together above the head, or you can have your feet hip distance apart and arms shoulder distance apart. So arms lifted on a breath in, and then on the breath out, imagine that you're trying to sit down on a chair behind you, your legs come into a Z shape, and you lift up your navel as you just gaze down towards the mat. Now notice the physical part of this posture. What is your body telling you as you hold this position for 3 breaths? Perhaps make any adjustments. You're feeling anything that might be painful or not quite right. And then on an in-breath, straighten, bring the arms up towards the sky. Breathe out, take the arms back down and just have a little wriggle. Okay, so we'll try that again. And we'll now focus on our ujjayi breath. We're going to have 3 ujjayi breaths in chair posture. So starting off, strong mountain pose, then a breath in, take the arms up to the sky, and then breathe out. Try and imagine you're sitting down on a chair, but you're not. Your knees are just slightly forward of your ankles. And now we'll do the 3 ujjayi breaths from here. Have an ujjayi breath to straighten and breathe in. Exhale and arms down. So normal breath, take a breath in, take the arms up to the sky. Bend the knees, float the hands down as you breathe out. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, back down. Place the hands on the floor and then take one knee down and then the other. And then just swing the feet round to the front and come onto your sit bones. So we're going to do a little twist called Half Lord of the Fishes. So we've got 2 options for this one. So we'll do the first one with the left leg straight and the right knee bent in. And then the left arm, the elbow goes on the outside of the right knee. Then the right hand goes behind you and you sit up tall, and then you turn towards the right. So your left elbow is pressed against the outside of the right knee. And you're trying to get your shoulders parallel to the straight leg. Notice if you have any frustrations with that. Turning the head towards the back of the room as far as it will go. And then just notice your awareness of the body in this position. Where is your attention being drawn? And then breathe in, try and imagine you're lifting from the crown, and breathe out, come back to center and just take the legs out and give them a shake. So we'll try that to the other side. So taking the left foot in, any amount. The right leg is straight. So we take the opposite elbow to the outside of that knee. Or you can have your hand clasped round if that elbow's not quite going round. Then your left hand behind you, near to your tailbone, sitting up tall, and then turning yourself around to the left. Turning the head last as far as it will go. And then notice your posture and the body in this position on this side. You may feel some tightness in certain small parts, small muscles of the back. Maybe in the outside of the thigh. And breathe in, lift the crown. Breathe out, come back to center and just shake out the legs. So we're going to try that again, one each side with a focus on the ujjayi breath, but you've got a choice this time with the bottom leg. So if you want to take the foot across the straight leg and then bend that straight leg towards the opposite heel, then that's an option for your legs. Okay, if that's not an option for you, then keep your legs straight and just keep your foot as you did before. Okay, so I'll just show you again from this side. So you bend your knee and then place the foot over to the outside of that knee, and then your straight leg comes underneath, nearly underneath, to the opposite hip. And that's, you'll have the opposite elbow again, and you will get into the position that way. If not, then you just do it as we did before. Okay, so we'll bend the left, yeah, we'll do the left knee, we'll do it this side. Bend the left knee and either place the left foot over and bend the right foot to the left hip, or keep that right leg straight. So your opposite elbow, right elbow over, or right hand over the left knee, take the left hand to the base of the spine behind you. Find yourself getting into that posture, find the stillness, and then it's 3 ujjayi breaths in this position. And then a breath in, lift from the crown. And a breath out, just uncurl, just take that left knee back down from the shake out. So we'll do that to the other side. So it's the right leg that's bent, start off with. And then you can take that right foot over the left knee and place the left heel towards the right hip. And then it's the opposite arm around that right knee, or you keep that left leg straight. And then opposite elbow, turn yourself round. And then bring your ujjayi breath in for 3 breaths of stillness and see what you notice. And then a breath in, lift from the crown. Breathe out, come back and uncurl. So whether the breath has made a difference in your posture, whether it made you relax more, whether you could feel you could open into the stretch a bit more, whether it took your attention away from any tightness, I don't know. But it's just interesting to notice where your mind takes you when you're focusing on the body or the breath. Okay, so we're going to take the feet onto the floor, lift up the heart, and then just slowly lower the body down, 1 vertebra at a time. And then taking the arms out to shoulder height. You're just going to bring one knee into the chest and then the other. And then just very slowly straighten the legs up to the sky, trying to keep the feet together if that feels comfortable, or you can have your feet slightly apart, but pressing the heels up towards the sky, trying to keep the feet parallel to the ceiling, and feel the extension from the tailbone all the way up the back of the legs to the heels. And then just relax the shoulders. Relaxing the throat, relaxing the neck. If the feet need to come back down onto the ground, then just let them do so. But 2 more breaths if you can, pressing those heels away, trying to press the tailbone down into the mat as well. Even out those hips. And then breathe in, just hold. breathe out, lower those heels down and the feet to the floor, and just let the natural curves open out of the lower back. So you just keep the knees bent. Allow the breath to come into the abdomen, and then let the sides of the back sink down to the mat as you breathe out. So you're going to take the right foot up and place it over the left knee. And then you're going to allow both knees to come over to the right side and just come into an extended twist with that right foot on top of the left knee. Now, if that's too much pressure for the left leg and the left hip, then just take that right foot off the knee and just lie it down underneath the left knee on the floor. Turning the head in the opposite direction if you want to extend the stretch into the upper spine. Where is your awareness in this posture? And then on a breath in, bringing both knees up towards the center and releasing that right foot to the floor. Breathing out. And breathing in, lifting the left foot over across the right knee, the top of the right knee. And then as you breathe out, allow the knees to float down to the left side. Again, each side of your body is different. You may feel better on this side with your foot on the knee. Might just help it unwind. Turning the head towards the right and just letting go of the shoulders. So you now notice how your body is in this position. And then breathing in, bringing the knees up to center. Breathing out, letting that left foot come back down to the floor. And then just resting here or bringing one knee in and then the other, maybe giving them a squeeze, rock from side to side. Even circling the knees. Whatever you become aware of, just respond to it in a way that's kind to your body. And then just bringing the feet back down and getting ready for Shavasana. So lying down, using the support that's right for you. And just becoming aware of your body lying on the floor as you lie on your back. Legs bent or straight. Arms as wide out to the side as they feel comfortable or closer in. And palms up or down. And just becoming aware now of the whole body as you lie here. If you need to get more comfortable, then making some small movements. And then bringing your whole awareness now to the outline of your body. The shape of your body as you lie here in this space. And then we're going to become aware of any tight spots, any tension that the body's still keeping hold of. And you're going to breathe into that part of the body. So you can use your ujjayi breath or your normal breath, but keep your focus, your attention on that part of the body for 3 to 5 breaths. And you may become aware that that tightness has eased as the healing breath has given it some space. Your attention through your mindfulness has allowed that tension to soften, the muscles to relax. So now becoming aware of perhaps another spot in the body that feels that tension and needs to relax. So bring your awareness now to another part of the body and 3 to 5 ujjayi breaths as you keep your mind on that part of the body. And if you find that the body is relaxed and there aren't any further tight or tense areas, then you can then now focus on the breath. So focusing on the breath like this. 1, breathing in. 1, breathing out. 2, breathing in. 2, breathing out. And carrying on up to 8, and then releasing, counting, and just becoming aware of whatever your attention is brought to. And if your mind starts thinking again, starts creating stories and things to do, then just bring your awareness back to either the body or the Ujjayi breath and begin counting again to train your mind to focus back to the present moment. 1, breathing in. 1, breathing out. So just bringing some small movements back to the body, letting your body guide you into a stretch or bringing the knees in for a squeeze. And then placing one foot and then the other onto the floor and just rolling over onto one side for 2 or 3 breaths before you come up to seated. And then just now becoming aware of the body once more now that you're upright. Noticing any changes inside the physical body compared to the start of your practice. Any length, any lightness, any ease. And then bringing your awareness to the navel center. And we're going to practice 5 rounds of Ujjayi breath. And we're going to draw the energy from the navel center up through the center of the body as we breathe in. And let it rest at the third eye with a pause. And then on the Ujjayi breath out, allow the energy to come back down from the third eye back to the navel center. So you can place your hands on the navel if that feels comfortable, or just rest them wherever feels right for you. So 5 breaths together, Ujjayi breath, drawing the energy up, starting with the navel center, third eye, and then back down. Breathing in from the navel, third eye, and back down. Breathing in, breathing out to navel, breathing in, breathing out, and one more round. And then bringing hands into prayer position and then bringing both thumbs to the third eye. And repeating your intention for your mindful practice today. I am and then releasing the thumbs from the third eye, rubbing the palms together and then closing the eyes, place the hands over the eyes. Spread the energy down over the front of the body, down to the hips. Then hands on the shoulders. Stretch the energy, squeeze it all the way down to the fingers, over the hands, and then from the hips down the legs, past the knees, over the feet and the toes. Bowing the head, turning the palms upwards, and then smiling at the hands, and then smiling at everybody here today. Thank you, everybody. Namaste.